You're now experiencing the Gretna Bill Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Gretna Bill Show. This is Josh. I'm here at the end of the Middle Creek gravel grinder, and I'm waiting for Brandon Miller and everybody else to show up with the tents and everything. And in the meantime, just like to say I'm going to be interviewing Brandon Miller about the event, about the ride, and we'll take it from there. Right now I'm coming up a section of trail right before the aid station, hoping to get some riders coming down off the hills from both the hardcore side and the easy side. It's where they come together right before the aid station. So I'm hiking up this right now, hoping I find it soon. Hey. Thank you. Gretna Bill anywhere near you?
What's up, man? Josh.
Hey, yo. Josh. Bill. Yes, sir. This is an easier place to make sure I get you.
Thanks, man.
Patience pays off. Okay, now it's gonna be a swarm of bikers, so in the interest of not getting pummeled, I'm gonna head back down to the aid station and go meet up with Brandon. Then we'll take it from there.
What do you want to do?
Okay, we're back at the top of the hill, so I'm gonna wait for Brandon. Got these interview questions, and I'm just gonna let him say whatever he wants to say. I'm sure he knows much more than I do about this ride. So here we go. So here we are with Brandon Miller, promoter of the Middle Creek Gravel Grinder. How many people are registered to ride?
At the start of this morning, at the closing, we had 140 or 244 riders sign up. But we picked up 12 this morning between the road option and the short ride option. So what is that? 159 people? Wow. Yeah, got pretty lucky.
How many categories?
We have 5 routes. Yeah, so we have a short adaptive friendly ride. It's pretty mellow. It's got some rolling hills in it. It's 15 miles long. Then we have a road option. And that one takes you through the gravelly routes, road routes, all the way around all the mountains that the medium, large, and XL courses climb. So in total, that one is 32.9 miles or 31.9 miles long, and it's pretty mellow, and it's just as beautiful as any other ones, but without the pain. In addition to the road and the short route, we also have a medium route. It does our first initial climb that goes up through Camp Mac, and it uses their Jeep access trails to the top of the mountain there. And then we have a choose your own adventure route that goes down to the first aid station that they encounter on the route or the ride altogether. Now these guys here are coming up on the climb. This is what we call Velcro Hill. This is a time segment just about 50 yards down there. We have a time segment end. So they're going to get prizes on who can finish the 7-mile climb first. The large route has a 6.5-mile climb, or I'm sorry, a 6-mile climb up. The extra large route diverges and kind of dips back down into the valley and does a long climb back up, and it's a total of 7.1 or 7.2 to this gate. So you got these guys here coming up, and these are, I think, 6 and 7. Hey, good morning. Good job, guys. So yeah, we have, the terrain varies from everything that's easy to everything that's hard. We have long climbs. We have, you know, fast country rolling hills to end the ride with. So you start all this stuff and you get front end loaded, and then on the way home it's easy, and you just kind of find yourself laughing about it. You know, you're grinding up the 7-mile climb with some chunky gravel, and then you get on these fast roads and you look down and you're doing 24 mile an hour because it's easy compared to what you've just been through, and that's kind of the fun part of it, you know, the varied terrain.
What's the track variation like?
Track variation is everything, dude. Like everything that you can imagine, from like easy footpaths like around the lake loop to the jagged section of death that we like to kind of call it, is an easier wide-tired mountain bike trail. It's a green trail, but when you put a gravel bike on it with low tire volumes and lower bottom brackets, you kind of get a little, you know, out of your comfort zone with that, and that's what makes it interesting. Yeah, guys.
So Bill was telling me about the Lathon Rouge. Lathon Rouge.
Yeah, I can't say it right either.
He says that there's 5 Strava segments of the ride that win Lupine taillights. Which lucky riders win these?
So yeah, the Lathon Rouge is a, this is my first time hearing about it. Bill had brought it up, and I thought it was a fantastic idea for our style of event. You know, we're not too serious out here on this. So the Lathon Rouge is a prize that we're going to be giving to the last finisher of each segment, right? So that means that on the 5 segments that we have, there's 1 segment per route, so everybody gets a chance. And the last rider of each of those segments is going to get basically the tail light of the caboose. You know, it's going to be fun. This is the first time I heard about it. He says it's a French,
French thing, I guess.
Yeah, French thing. I want to say the Tour de France, but I don't know if it was coined there.
I think so.
Or
he talked about it in the first show.
Yeah,
I think it's French.
Right. It's cool. It's cool. I love the idea, and it totally fits. When he mentioned it, I was like, that's totally what we need to do here, because this is just a ride. You know, we ended up picking up some sponsors, and everything that they gave us, we just were pitching right back at the riders. We're not out here to make any money. We're raising money for a great cause. So everything that we spend, or everything that we earn, we offset the costs with what we have to do to obviously put the event on, and it gets donated directly into a grant. And this year our grant program is it's called the Feed Their Imagination Grant, and it's a program that students, homeschooled or public school or any kind of schooling alike, can apply for, that provides public transportation, food, any kind of transportation, I guess, really, to the Reading Public Museum for a STEAM summer program. So it's like a day-long or like a week-long event that they can sign up for, and it gets them in there. And last year they got 6,500 kids, so we're trying to break hopefully 7,000, because it's not cheap, but it'd be nice to break 7,500 if we could help them push it into that goal. And it's a great program, and they study the STEAM program, so science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. So a little bit of everything. It's kind of like school in the summertime, but with a flair, right?
Yeah.
So they get to be at the museum, and they get to also learn about the exhibits and everything that goes on there.
That's great.
Yeah.
How difficult is it to organize a ride like this?
You know, I have a problem with delegating stuff, but I would say that to organize a ride like this, this being the second ride that I've organized, you know, like Middle Creek 1 was like the first ride that I've ever organized, and it was literally designed for 40 people, and 100 people came out. So I was like, well, if I could do that, then next year maybe I'll just add another route to spread people out, and, you know, string riders out a little bit longer. it can't be that much harder, right? So I just went for it, added a route. We added 10 miles to the large, and you know, I already knew who to get in contact with getting the permits. That's the hardest thing, is finding out the land managers and working out deals, finding out who owns the properties that the trail systems go through, because some of them is not public, some of it is private, so you have to contact, you gotta go knock on doors. Like we go through a Boy Scout camp, so I have to go all the way to Harrisburg, to the state capital, and get in contact with the head ranger of the Boy Scouts for Pennsylvania, and get his approval that we use his land, and then get approval that we can send so many people through it. So we got to go to the level at the top, and then we got to go all the way down to the smallest ranger at that camp too, to let them know that, hey, we're bringing 250 people through your property this weekend. And it's crazy, you know, because it's fun, because at Camp Mac they have this sign in, sign out sheet. So when you roll through the property, you're supposed to stop, sign a book, and then sign it when you leave. You go through that book. I mean, there's people from all over the tri-state area that are in and out of there. So it's really interesting to get in there, and for the the knocking on doors part, it's funny because I was coming out here for 3 months trying to scout something to put this all together, and every time I would go to Camp Mac, I'd sign in the book and I'd take up 4 spaces below it and go, call me, leave my number, and then nothing was happening. So it finally got to the point where I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna shoot some emails out there to the highest people I can figure to contact into this, way back into it, you know. And luckily we have a good mountain bike organization in the area called Samba, and those guys, I don't lean on them for a whole lot. I just ask for their permission to use the trail systems with her, because they maintain it, and they've helped me out a lot with contacts as well. So that their stuff kind of really led to some of the initial okay, maybe this can work as an event, because now I have that approval in this chunk of land. And what about the Game Commission, you know? And they have a huge list of things that you can't do. So we hold to every single one of them. Main thing is that we're not making a profit off this event. So they're kind of like, okay, well, I guess so. And they give us, the permits, and which is flooring, and I really respect them. I'm super thankful for them, and I think everybody on this ride should be too, because having an event like this in state game lands is
making it happen like that.
It's
pretty
hard.
Awesome.
It's really hard, and and if you rub them the wrong way, that's it. They, not to say that, but they just deal with so much. They don't need, another outfit out there just knocking on their door. And so we really appreciate what they're doing for us, and allowing us to be out here and experience these public lands. One of the best things is when you're coming up this hill, this 7-mile climb, the Velcro Hill, is that you don't hear anything.
Yeah,
there's a highway right across the valley.
A bike comes,
all you hear is your bike on the gravel, and the wind in your ears and your breath, and it's quiet. I spent some time out in Montana, and it's hard to find a place out here that has this amount of quiet. So I really kind of relate to it. So that's what's cool. And then once you get all the landowners and everything in line, you just kind of meld it together. Just shoot for a date. You got to start the year previously, and sometimes 2. I mean, there's events out there that guys are. There's guys out there that promote and organize events, and they're 3 years deep before they can finally get the first event on. And we kind of got lucky out here with this one. So it takes time. It takes a lot of time linking trails together if you don't know what is out there. But that's one of the best things about this event too, is we have a lot of people that roll up this hill and on this route, and they're like, man, I never knew I can get from here to here. That's awesome.
Linked together,
And that's the part that took me 4 or 5 months to figure out.
Your 2 favorite trails, and all of a sudden you realize you can combine them.
And you can ride them all in one shot without having to do anything. So I actually come out here, I ride all the way down here from Reading, I ride the route, and I ride all the way back, and that's kind of how I link it. So it's fun. I love this place. I mean, it hurts when you climb, but it feels so good when you go down that mile. There's a long descent at the top, after the top of Velcro Hill here, and you can reach 47, 50 mile an hour on a bike. So I guess that's it.
Well, thanks so much for taking the time, man. That really means a lot, and we're hoping to get this show. By this time next year, we're hoping to get this show really going, and we're hoping to cover as much as we possibly can.
Yeah, we appreciate what you're doing, and we appreciate you coming out here and doing this podcast. So good luck with everything, and thanks for letting us be Middle Creek Gravel Grinder, being your first and second content.
Yeah, because
And,
yesterday's video was prepping for the Middle Creek.
Yeah, that was funny. I was laughing. You know, Bill's such a good, interesting fella, and it's just like it's quality content. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
I like it.
I'm gonna head out now, and thank you so much for watching the Gretna Bill Show, and hopefully you'll click that subscribe button down below. Thanks for watching.